So, session 3 of Rise of the Runelords begins. Last time, our heroes celebrated their newfound glory and fame within the town of Sandpoint due to their actions during the goblin raid. They had an opportunity to meet with many of the local townsfolk and become very, very close personal friends with folks such as Aldern Foxglove, a visiting noble from Magnamar who took quite a liking to Gore.
Good man, good man.
All in my notebook that
along with becoming close friends with Amiko Kaijitsu, including having a moment to stand up for her honor during a fight with her father, Lon Jikku, at the main tavern inn at the Rusty Dragon.
Yeah, we weren't standing for that. Yeah,
Good one.
Not,
Good one.
no.
As the several days have passed since the goblin raid, however, our third session begins with a very concerned and the party made close personal friends with the likes of Aldern Foxglove, a visiting noble from Magnamar.
handsome gentleman.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Along with Amiko Kaijitsu. However, as the morning begins, however, a very concerned looking Sheriff Hemlock is awaiting you at the main inn of the Rusty Dragon.
Morning, Sheriff.
Good morning, Gore. It's good to see you all have stuck.
Am I there?
We're all there.
I was with somebody last night that I don't know who I was
Oh,
with.
that's right.
And no
You
one
don't
knows where I went
remember.
last night. So
That is up to you.
yeah, maybe I stumbled down the steps.
yeah,
as
you
guys
stumbled
were
a few
already
minutes
talking
later.
with a big grin on my face, but also very confused.
Yeah, we're groggy.
Like, was that?
Why do you keep scratching yourself?
He's got the goblin pox.
Yeah.
I was hoping I could. Hoping I could speak with you, Father Zantus, the priest of our local cathedral, made a disturbing discovery last night. It appears that one of the crypts in our local boneyard cemetery has been broken into.
Grave robbers.
Perhaps. However, the vault in question was actually a mausoleum or tomb dedicated to the noble servants of the cathedrals of Sandpoint's past over the last several hundred years, housing the remains of previous caretakers, priests, and acolytes who served at the cathedral. The stone door has been thrust asunder, and there were strange noises coming from within.
You didn't go in?
I gotta admit, that kind of place gives me the creeps. Anyways, I don't want to. There's been enough problems with the last couple of weeks. I didn't want to go to my townsfolk with this. I was hoping you could do me a personal favor and investigate it for me.
Do you know any reason why someone would ever want to break into something like this?
I have no idea.
Can get some more of the hair of the dog.
I think I'm down for exploring what's going on there.
Well, exploring's a bit much. It's just like a one-room tomb, but
No, well, explore that one room.
I guess if you guys need me, I'll tag along.
I'm down to clown.
Down to clown.
all right. Well, you make your way across Sandpoint over to the newly consecrated cathedral. Standing on the remains of the previous cathedral, which burned down several years ago, several of that previous cathedral's buildings still remain, including the attached boneyard, which housed most of the deceased residents of Sandpoint. At the far end of the boneyard, enclosed by a small wrought iron fence, lies a small, squat stone building, carved, but not so elaborately as to be ostentatiously, with holy symbols dedicated to the gods of good. And indeed, you can see that there is a small flight of stone steps that descend several feet into the ground before it comes to a large pillared entryway where once stood a large stone door. You can see that that door has been blown asunder or somehow otherwise forcefully ripped open. One of the stone doors it shows signs of cracks, and the other one has been flung wide open.
I think we asked this last week. Was it blown out or blown?
The door's open up.
But it looked like someone opened it versus
Yes, someone.
like blown out, like
Yeah,
from the
yeah,
inside.
yeah.
Okay.
They're blown in. Yeah. In addition, it doesn't take any sort of real notice that the grass, plants, and even some of the stonework surrounding the door shows signs of charring.
Looks like fire's been here.
Indeed.
Can I take a look inside the cathedral?
You can, Gore.
Not the cathedral.
Not the cathedral. Yes.
The boneyard building, small stone building, gods of good.
All right, Gore. You approach, but it is, even in this early morning sun, there are no windows to the crypt.
Do you
It
guys
is
need me to look inside?
Dark inside.
I have dark vision.
So do I.
Oh, good.
So do I.
Maybe the person that hasn't been hit yet.
We've
Oh,
all
yeah.
got dark
I thought
vision.
you
I
have
don't-
low light vision.
I don't
No,
believe-
but I think the
Does
fighter
everyone
should
wait?
go.
No, he has low light
Do you have
vision.
low light vision or dark vision?
I have dark vision.
I thought you had low light.
My
Or-
umbral ancestry for the gnomes.
You are an
grants
umbral
me
gnome. Yes.
Dark vision.
I think you have low light vision.
Low light. Yep.
Yeah,
I can see-
have
it could be
complete
pitch
dark.
black,
Yeah,
and
I
I'm
can. Yeah,
there he
that's
is.
fine. It
All right,
seems
well,
cozy inside.
With your low light vision, you're still able to see somewhat well.
All
Why
right.
don't you go ahead and make a perception check for me, Gore?
15 plus perception. Holy cow. It's only been a week, right?
That's correct.
6.
No.
15 plus 6 is 21.
All right. Great. All right. Well, taking a look inside of the small stone building, you can see that the building appears to be filled with sarcophagi. Some are built into small shelves along the wall. Others are laid out on the floor. As you look in, you can see that there is two things of interest pop up to you, Gore. First, you see that there is some sort of robe that is laying in one of the corners of the room. Robe.
Oh.
R-O-B-E, a robe,
Makes sense.
lying in a corner. And the second is that there is a sarcophagi in the middle of the room, kind of off to one side, that has had its stone lid thrown off. The stone lid is cracked
It's empty.
and it is open. Whether it's empty or not, you don't know.
Oh no, there's vampires.
Mummies.
I don't see
Oh,
anything.
no.
I'm still outside.
Yeah, I don't see any of this either.
Yeah,
yet.
I'm just kind of hanging out back. And,
I'm waiting for the relay from Gore.
yeah, you
Am I able to peer over into the coffin? And
Yeah, you'll have to get closer.
I'll approach slowly.
Make sure to yell if you see anything.
All right.
Yeah.
Gore begins
Still
moving.
drinking out here.
Gore begins moving into the darkness of the crypt.
It's okay, guys.
And Gore, as your elven or half elven eyes, I suppose, begin to adjust to the dimness within the crypt, it's then for the first time that you notice several shadowy forms moving out from the depths of the darkness of
boy.
the crypt.
Now it's not okay.
Things have escalated.
Go ahead and roll perception for initiative. Everyone go ahead and roll
Okay.
perception for initiative.
18.
18 for Gore,
6.
6 for Burl,
Burl was sneezing at the time.
11 total for Azius.
as opposed to 11 not total.
Before he's added the modifier. Yeah, I don't know what Burl was hanging out with Lucky. He was petting him. It was a whole thing. He's distracted from many.
What'd you end up getting?
I rolled a 2,
Oh,
so I got a 6.
yeah. I mean, I never roll good.
I know.
My kids pick my dice, and they pick the worst dice. What was cool is we were talking. Me and Derek were talking before about how crappy it is to roll in these little things.
Yeah.
But with my table that Derek's building, expert craftsman, by the way.
Thank you.
As Derek is a craps player,
Ooh.
it's almost like you really kind of wanna.
You want to give that.
I mean, no, you want to like chuck it off the walls.
Yeah, you want to have it go, man.
So here, I'm a little timid with my rolls, but
Be aggressive.
Derek,
Be
Derek
aggressive.
would be, if Derek DM'd on it, he would be crushing rolls
Like a
very
hole.
aggressively.
3 skeletal guards
Oh no!
These motherfuckers.
emerge from the darkness on Gore.
Oh my god.
Gore, look out.
What do you see up there?
Did you have a question, Rory?
Just my perception's super high, and I couldn't remember why I was expert in perception other than being a fighter, maybe?
Yeah, I think fighter probably gives you.
There would be no other reason that you would
Yeah.
be.
Okay. Fighter is great.
Yeah,
I mean,
You do
all
like
of the
the
natural like things. The downfit is you can only attack. You don't have spells.
That's
You don't
true.
have any of those like alchemy. You don't have any spells. You know,
Yeah.
with him, he's got all
I
those
don't really
weird
have
bonuses.
anything going
Not
on.
a ton
for
of
me.
utility.
Yeah, but you're good at everything physical.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, the fighter's a great, great class. Oh yeah. So we're just hanging out outside, right?
Okay, 3 skeleton guards.
Oh, that smells so good.
Oh,
Let me waft it
I will be a little
Uh,
drunk and high.
Can you put a little 1, 2, and 3 below those guys?
on the
Thank you.
skeletons. Sure thing.
Yeah, let me roll for these guys.
Be cool if the base had a little bit of metal, right?
Uh,
To hit to the magnet.
Of course, and they actually at the time you could some people, if you're
Super
really
glue or
anal, you'll
whatever.
super glue like a washer
Oh yeah,
to
yeah.
the base, and then
Yeah.
it works great.
Oh, that makes sense.
It works great.
Say,
Oh.
We're not Dwarven Forge here.
What'd you get, Gore? 22.
18.
I got a 6, so there's no confusion.
All
there.
right. The first skeleton warrior or skeleton guard comes to life. As he does so, let's see. He's got a scimitar and a short bow. He's going to use his scimitar, however. His speed is 25 feet. So, number 2 skeleton will emerge from the darkness and engage on Gore.
All right.
Gore. As the creature comes forward, it hisses in your face with its skeletal eyes burning red beams of evil and darkness into you. It is going to try to demoralize you.
Is it demoralize?
Yes, he's using his intimidate
Oh, okay.
against your will DC. So a will DC is 10 plus whatever your will save.
Well, that's my strong spot.
I have a will total of 4.
So your will DC is 14. So I'm going to roll against that. And I got a 10. So I fail. The creature fails to shake you. And then if that doesn't work, he'll just swing his scimitar at you, which that hopefully will work. Okay, plus 6, 22.
Ooh, hit.
It does D6 plus 2 damage and only does 3 minimum damage. As the scimitar slashes out at you, you're able to get your sword up in time and mostly parry off the attack.
I took 3.
You took 3 points of damage. It should come out of your stamina. Scimitars have a trait, and I'm not familiar with what it does.
Does it increase the crit range? No.
No. Scimitars are forceful and sweep.
Ooh, they sweep.
They sweep.
Nice and
Forceful
clean.
means that the weapon becomes more dangerous as you build momentum. If you attack with it more than once on turn, the second attack gains a circumstance bonus to damage equal to the number of dice each.
Not
okay.
the to hit though.
No.
Just the damage.
Right. And sweep means that if I make a second attack, but if I attack a different enemy, instead of a -5 to attack, basically, it's a -4. Okay. So the skeleton comes forward and swings at you and doesn't do much, but does hit. And that brings up you, Gore.
I'll attack
Yes.
with my great sword.
Okay, we'll assume that was out.
24.
Okay, that is definitely a hit. You seem like you're trying to.
Nope.
Oh.
I was waiting for you to say that was a critical hit.
Well, I can't say it was a critical hit
Oh,
until
okay.
you actually tell me what the number is.
For the 24?
Well, no, you said you were like 24.
Yeah.
I was like
That was his final answer.
and you're like, I was waiting to see if you were gonna say it was a critical hit. And I was like, I can't tell you if it's a critical hit until you tell me the number.
Yeah, well, it was 24. This 9 is so high a number that
Right.
it's unreal.
It's not D&D.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
well, and that is
It is throwing
actually
me off too whenever I hear him say +9. I'm like, +9. Holy shit.
right. For the folks at home, these gentlemen have only played 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons
Yeah,
prior to
this is
this.
all new.
So +9 is a big number. Yeah, it's a big number. But you also did how much damage?
That was the 10.
Yep.
My D12 plus 4 is 16, 14.
14 is enough to crumble the skeleton back into dust. It dies immediately. Crumpled. All right, the third skeleton activates. You can remove it. It's completely dusted and it's not coming back. The skeleton advances on Gore.
Do I get my third? Do I get my
Oh,
other
I'm
two
back him up.
moves?
Back him up. you get to do a lot of stuff. You're gonna attack a whole
Do you
other
have a
ass
spare
person.
dog slicer?
Dude, I wish.
Yeah.
I should.
All right, Gore, you have
Follows
2 more
follows
actions.
the
I'm
dog
sorry.
slicer blade.
I'm gonna move
Yep.
Skelly 3 and attack.
Yep. Go for it. So now it's like 5th edition. Now it's only +4.
Okay.
All right.
20.
Hits. Come on. Immediately
imagine,
dusted. Yes.
Rory as a fighter is like OP.
All right. What do we do?
I can't do anything. I'm an alchemist.
Aziz,
literally.
if you want me to just skip your turn.
No.
You know, here. How about I just take 5 damage? We'll just proceed.
No.
Save the time.
How about you give me all your money? I'll kick you in the balls and we'll call it even.
Yeah. So my guy can't even, first of all, move in far enough to hit this guy unless I double move, which I do have to do. So yeah.
You can do 25, right? 5, 10, 15, 20,
I can do
25?
40 as 2 moves.
Oh, because you're 20.
Yeah, I'm so slow.
How am I faster than you?
I am a little heavy.
I guess
and
that
I've been
is.
drinking all the
I've
time.
been drinking all day.
So I will I'll move in.
All right.
5, 10, 15, 20. Yeah, so I'll move in with 2 actions.
2 move. Yeah.
Yeah, and then my third action will be to actually hit this guy with my Warhammer Destiny.
Bring it down.
All right.
So bringing down the +5 hammer.
Hey.
22.
That's a hit.
D8. D8 plus
Plus-
You can definitely
plus
tell.
1.
You can
Plus
definitely
2.
tell.
3 damage.
3 damage.
They have 4 hit points,
Well,
so it's not dead.
He's certainly hurt.
The creature
Yeah,
hisses
now
in.
I'm gonna get hurt again.
The creature hisses in your face and begins swinging wildly. Ah!
Oh my god! I can't even kill
Four
4
hit
HP.
points.
You're too-
13, Bob. 13.
No,
Miss.
that's okay.
Okay.
I'm still good.
Then the creature's going to move over and attack. Gore.
So it falls forward after missing me.
Yeah.
and then-
Attacking a different target negates the penalty.
It does not.
Oh, okay.
So I got a grand total of 12.
No way.
All right, Burl.
All right. Burl's going to move in.
Yep.
10, 15, 20, 25.
Like,
cast
just
it.
look and say like, man, we're good.
I'm going to do a quick Ray of Frost here.
Yep. No cover, no nothing. So you're good.
So +7, 10.
Ooh, it goes wide. Gore, you again.
I'll attack the skeleton in my face
Yes,
with
sir.
my great sword.
Crush him.
That's
Hits.
20. And,
I think by ability modifier alone, he should be dead.
Dead.
It's so hard.
he did like 15, 16, 14.
He was barely alive. He has so hard. It's like swung through all his bones.
Oh, well, that was easy.
that guy scratched me in the face.
You did take 3 damage. That's
Ugh.
true.
Azius, how you doing? Are you okay?
I think I like hit him.
Do we need to take a break?
I don't know. Give me some more of that hair of the dog. It's a little early in the morning. I do better in the afternoon.
Yeah. You have an ale while we investigate closer to the sarcophagus.
All right. Well, needless to say, as quickly as they arose, the 3 skeletons have been dispatched. However, outside, the sheriff is very alarmed by all of this.
Don't worry, Lucky's out with him.
No, not so much about that, but about the implication of what this is.
Oh, because skeletons just rose from the grave.
Well,
Yeah.
there's only one sarcophagus in here, right? So, or
No, there's
No,
multiple
there's multiple,
sarcophagus,
okay.
but
People's body.
only one
Servants.
sarcophagi is open.
But yet there were 3 animated corpses.
3 animated skeletons, yes, and open sarcophagi, and then a discarded robe. The sheriff comes in, undead in Sandpoint, in our own crypt. Oh, these are evil times indeed. How? Where? Why?
Strong necromancy, I think.
I was going to ask you those same questions.
Agreed.
Well, let's. I think if we take a look at the robe and or the sarcophagus a little bit closer, maybe something will reveal itself.
Okay.
Yeah, does anybody have any good investigation? What is investigation in
Just what
Perception?
just
Just what-
perception? Okay. I mean,
You
Oh,
like,
oh, you mean like what would you use?
like yeah,
to-
like an investigation check.
Usually
on
you're
stuff.
going to use, like in terms of like, yeah, I always thought the investigation check was kind of stupid.
I know you did.
This is like a
I just-
lore type
Yeah,
situation, right?
it's more of like your knowledge and what would you possess. It's rather not so much.
Oh, I
like-
was gonna
Are
look
there
at
any
the
kind
robe.
of symbols on the robe?
so Arcana
are
could
there
be.
any nature symbols?
So Arcana could be useful. Religion could be useful. Potentially a lore skill that you might have. Occult or occultism would be a good one.
Fellas, I ain't got shit to help here.
If any of these things have to do with alcohol, I will know my shit.
Or gambling or games.
Are these warring robes?
No, in fact, actually, the robes seem to be strange. The robe is very fine quality, but you notice that it has strange, misshapen discolorations all over it.
How tall is this robe?
Yeah, does it look like it
Medium
fit a
size.
small character?
I'm gonna throw this shit on.
Okay. It feels strange about you. A cold chill runs through you.
I don't like this shit too much.
Fine quality, meaning a wealthy type individual.
No, maybe magical.
Magical.
Am I sensing any magical powers, or am I just getting cold?
No, actually, you feel as if the magical powers have been used up.
Guys, I'm not really feeling anything here. Maybe I could wake up in this thing. But,
all right.
You guys want to take that shit off?
Can we maybe take this robe to Father Zantus?
You absolutely could. But in the meantime,
All right, pack it up with you.
Yeah, pack it up.
Yeah.
I don't want to touch that thing anymore.
in the meantime, as you spend more time in the crypt, you also discovered that the sarcophagi that has been opened belonged to Father Ezekiel.
Oh.
Is that the previous?
Yeah.
That was
priest?
the previous priest who died in the cathedral fire 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And he's in there?
It's empty.
Oh,
Ooh.
fucking A.
And none of these skeletons look like his corpse.
No.
Sounds like he's trying to call it.
Whoa.
Yes. In fact, it seems like the skeletons didn't come from any of the crypts or anything from here.
Huh.
The main sarcophagi was Father Ezekiel's.
Ezekiel, but yes. And it's missing. His remains, I mean.
We should probably tell the sheriff.
Yeah.
Oh,
quick.
sure.
Yeah.
Do I see any like footprints that are out of place?
Go ahead and make a perception check.
12.
You detect, mostly outside, but you detect the footprints of maybe a dozen small clawed goblin footprints. But you also find several boot prints that might have belonged to a medium creature. You can see the light foot stains and mud stains as they enter in, and like
footprint, like
footprints.
like a human footprint.
Yeah.
Medium-sized character. Human.
But not skeletal footprint. Is kind
No,
of
no.
getting my point.
Right.
It's more like an actual
like a
thing.
boot.
Someone wearing
okay.
a shoe. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You see booted footprints that lead up to the crypt and then lead out.
Oh.
So maybe someone came and picked him up.
Goblins.
Goblin boots.
There was many a goblin footprint.
There were a
as
lot
well
of
as-
there were a lot of
Did
goblins,
they
but
wear
there
boots?
Well,
there were a lot of goblins, and goblins were small, and there was a medium-sized
I'll remember
creature.
the goblins were told to come here by somebody. That's how I remember.
The sheriff, as you guys kind of take this all in, begins scratching at his balding hair nervously. This is bad news indeed. I do think you should take the robe to the Father Zantus, but I'd appreciate it if you kept this to yourselves.
Let's keep it discreet, boys.
The towns,
of course.
Yeah, the townsfolk have been
I
through
know how to
enough.
keep
The
a
last thing
secret.
they need
I'm
to
a
hear is
bartender.
that there are skeletons in the graveyard and that the Father Ezekiel's tomb has been desecrated. You know, as you were saying, some of those goblins did say something about being employed or paid. And actually, now that I think about it, you know, we're still not sure how the goblins even got into Sandpoint.
Is there like a wall or something? Or
Not really, but you know, we have town's guards and militia members. Like, you would think that we would have seen. Now I understand that goblins are small, tricky, conniving creatures, but there were a lot of them.
Half
And-
your city is surrounded by water, right?
Yeah, I mean on the coast, yeah, like at least like I'd say like
A quarter.
quarter of it. But even then, it just surprises me that so many goblins with their loud enchanting and their burning that could even get in here. But I'm wondering now, all the attacks were focused more on the northern part of town. Cathedral's on the eastern part of town. What if this was a
diversion?
Diversion.
Oh, shit. I don't like that.
I mean, I can tell you this. I mean, Father Zantus is pretty regular with his prayers and upkeeps. This happened recently. It's not like this happened like a while ago because he just noticed it and
because
came
the
to me.
cathedral is attached.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So then time is of the essence.
Something's going on.
We must go to Father Zantus now.
Wherever you guys want to go, let's just do it.
He should have just completed his morning rituals at the cathedral. I'm going to go make some preparations. Things are strangely moving here, and I think Sandpoint's a little ill-equipped to handle it. I'm going to go see if I can...
Probably bar up this crypt.
Yeah, you want to clean it. You don't give it church this up a bit. It's a bit,
Father Zantus and I have already spoken about it. We figured that after you took a look at it, he would send his acolytes to work and seeing what they could do to secure the crypt. I'm going to go see if I can figure out a way that maybe we can get some extra bodies in our town's guard. Maybe some people a little bit more professional than what we typically have.
Good idea.
All right. You guys make your way over to the cathedral, and there's literally an eraser.
Oh.
Yeah, it's called his finger.
I make do.
Father Zantus, High Priest
I've
of the
always wanted
Sandpoint
to see this
Cathedral.
guy. We saw him during the
Zantus!
ceremony.
Yeah, you've not really spoken to him. He was about to
No.
give a speech. Go in peace, my
Fine
children,
beard.
and let the blessings of light and Desna rain upon you. The people of Sandpoint file out from their morning religious ritual, and Father Zantus beckons you to come join him over on the at the altar.
Well, all right.
Blessings unto you, my children. How can I and Desna help you this morning?
We have a question for you. We found, in some extenuating circumstances, we found a robe, and we want you to take a look at this robe.
I hand him the robe.
I assume that this came from the crypt.
How did you know? Oh, wait, you're part of this. Yeah.
Yes.
All right. It did.
What did you find?
We were attacked by some skeletons that were raised. Some
Skeletons.
necromancy afoot.
Skeletons in our crypt. That's not possible.
Easily dispatched, of course.
Yeah, I
Mostly
hit one of them.
Wow.
Gore, but he did. It didn't do much. He didn't kill
These
it.
things were truly pathetic.
Gore knocked them all down. It was pretty much just the Gore show. He just took care of
Barely an
everything.
inconvenience.
Yeah. I was asleep during half of it.
And that's it. 3 skeletons?
Well, there's the sarcophagus.
The circle.
Oh, he doesn't know about that, does he?
No.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
No, we're reporting
Ezekiel's body's missing.
it's been robbed or
The
otherwise evacuated.
Someone stole the body? The remains?
Stole or animated.
That is a very disturbing set of circumstances that the remains of the priest have been removed. I can only imagine that someone intends to use them in some form of ritual or animation.
Think, Father, are there necromancers in this town? Is there anyone you can think of with wielding the dark arts?
No, none that I can be imagined of. Here, let's take a look at this robe. The father casts a spell of detect magic.
Should you have done something like that?
I didn't take that spell.
The robe is indeed magical, but only faintly so, for its magic has been spent. This robe was once a robe of bones, a magical item which allowed the user to conjure forth skeletons.
So he conjured them and then they just sat there in defense?
Or he died. Or
Well, he couldn't have
Something.
died because he would have been in the crypt. No, I feel that whoever wore this robe used the last of its magic to summon several skeleton guardians, probably to try to kill whoever might discover the theft.
Gotcha.
They weren't expecting you guys.
Father.
I mean, when I came in there, they knew it was up.
Father, I have a question for you.
Yes.
Candidly.
Yes.
What's your take on the sheriff? I mean no disrespect, but given that he would be in charge of defending the city and the recent goblin attacks and some mysterious character here has worn the robe and resurrected some skeletons.
Yeah, and all these goblins got into town somehow.
Somehow. And the person I think of as a sheriff, what's your take?
I trust Baylor with my life. Sheriff
Baylor?
That's his first name.
Oh,
Sheriff-
Hemlock.
Yeah, Sheriff Hemlock is as good of a man as I know and as I've ever come.
Mm.
He's a bedrock of this town, born and raised here. As a boy, he took an arrow to the knee. He had to give up his life of being an adventurer to settle for... See, only Danny got that joke.
I don't know.
I didn't get it either.
I was thinking of Achilles with the heel.
Skyrim, you nerds.
Oh, I never played Skyrim.
Skyrim.
I don't know.
Danny's played a lot of games. He's a gamer.
He had to give up his
We get to the Red
adventuring
Dead
career.
Redemption trivia. I'm ready to go.
But he had to give up his adventuring career to become a mere town officiant. But he's done so with skill and just I trust.
But
him
you
with my
trust
life.
him. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you know who this robe, any kind of, do you know who it might have belonged to?
No clue. I would never have created or seen or allowed such an item into the town if I could. I mean, the item itself isn't inherently evil. It summons skeletons, but the creation of any undead I consider to be a sin.
I would agree.
Needless to say, it appears that someone or something with some connection to necromancy or some sort of other dark art has stolen the father's remains. The only thing I can think of is there's 3 possible options. The first would be someone wants to perform some sort of raise dead ritual, but that seems unlikely.
Given the cloak, the robe.
Yes. The second is someone may intend to raise the remains of the father as some sort of ghoul or zombie, but there are easier ways to do that, and I don't know why anyone
not just
would
raise him as a zombie?
or just anybody.
Yeah.
You know. No, the third most likely situation is far more nefarious.
Mm.
Someone might be intending to do some sort of evil ritual that may require the remains of maybe a holy man or other good steward of good.
What kind of ritual?
So this.
Oh, there are numerous dark rituals in the world, my son. Some for power, some for money, wealth,
But-
others for darker purposes.
But Father
Zantus, you fool.
Ezekiel? No, the
Father
okay.
Ezekiel, the dead one.
excuse me.
Ezekiel.
Yeah.
He was of the highest nobility.
Of course,
was up and
all the more reason why sacrificing his
That's
remains
yeah. There's no.
to a dark god might grant you power. There is
Did any rumors of him having any magical abilities?
who is that?
Father
Ezekiel.
Ezekiel.
I mean, he was a cleric. He had
Okay.
like
I
me.
didn't know if we were talking about this land being magical. Old Runelords. Sorry, he was just cleric.
Yeah, no,
Oh,
he was just a cleric of the
okay,
town.
okay.
Yeah, he wasn't
I was
like
gonna-
he wasn't like some special
I'm like, this
chosen
guy's
one.
like amazing.
He was not the
person,
descendant of.
something, and then that's why they're trying.
No,
to get to
Father
his body.
Ezekiel was a faithful and loyal steward of Desna for many, many, many years. His wife had died in childbirth a number of years ago, and he eventually took in a orphan, a young Asimar. That's humans who have a touch of angelic
Oh,
blood.
so
Oh.
the wife and child died.
Yes.
Oh, damn.
And he took in a young orphan, an Asimar, a young girl by the name of Nualia. She was a troubled young girl, never seemed to fully fit in with Sandpoint, and I don't blame her. Kids teased her for her beauty, or strangely, people thought that maybe her hair could cure their, warts, or, that her,
Rapunzel? What?
well, just, people are superstitious, and having angelic blood, people kind of almost like a form of reverse discrimination. Anyways, she kept mostly to herself and with her father. And then night came of the great fire.
That was the last time you heard of her.
They were all perished inside.
Including her?
Yes.
Were remains found, or was it a
Obviously, the father's
inconclusive?
remains were found because they buried him.
The
Right.
father's remains were found because he actually was sadly killed by a falling timber near the
Ooh.
outskirts of the thing as he was trying to usher out several of his
What a
acolytes.
brave man.
No, Nualia's corpse was never found, along with, unfortunately, several other people in town.
Interesting.
What's your take on Lon Jikku?
Lon Jikku is he's a man with a troubled past. I have not been a member of this town for as long as the rest of them. I came here to replace as high priest of the town after Father Ezekiel's death. So I took it upon myself to learn about the rumors. The rumors are that Lon Jikku may have killed his wife.
Whoa.
Apparently, he got into a large argument with his, I guess, son would be the correct term, but more like his adopted son. Although to be fair, it's my understanding that Lon Jikku never accepted the bastard.
This is the one that
This is Suto,
yeah, the elven? No.
half elf.
Half elf, yeah.
Yes. But the other rumor that I heard about Lon Jikku is that he may not be as up and up as people think he is.
What is that? You mean?
It's said that his great wealth in the beginning may have come from smuggling.
Nothing wrong. I mean,
What?
I mean,
what would you say about that?
Would the smuggling involve goblins of?
No.
Okay.
Not that I'm aware of.
We'll
No,
eventually have to go to the
and from
glass
everything I
factory.
know, it's just that's how he built his fortune initially. But for everything I know, he's been on the up and up since I've seen him. I mean, he's a surly, crass old man who does not give back to his community nearly enough. But other than that, I have no personal problem with him, although I certainly wouldn't want to share a meal with him.
Understood.
Yes.
Father, I feel like we need to investigate this disturbance some more. And I, besides going to the glass factory, I don't know what our next step should be in this.
Well, it's my understanding that actually that the Elven Ranger Shalelu should be returning to town
Shalelu.
today.
She might know the goblins
Well,
coming.
Easy there, Gore. Easy there.
Shalelu only comes into town a few times a year. Most of the time, she stops in. She usually meets with the mayor and the sheriff to kind of give them a report on what's going on in the outlying regions, and then usually enjoys a nice hot meal and room and stay at the Rusty Dragon. She's good friends with Amiko.
The Rusty Dragon, you say?
Well, apparently, they used to adventure together back in the day.
Her and Amiko.
Indeed. But it's my understanding, however, that she just got into town this morning.
Well, if you think she's at the Rusty Dragon, I mean, I don't mind stopping for another brew, guys.
Yeah, no arguments here.
You guys think we should talk to her or something?
It's still midday, but I think brew's
Well, no one would know more about what's going on with the local goblins than her.
So it is settled.
I think we should stop to her. I mean, obviously, I would still want to check out this glass factory eventually, but
We'll get there. The day is long.
maybe we talk to Miku a little bit about our father before we go any further to go talk to her father.
Yeah.
Only if you guys want to. Yeah.
I could use a little bit of pick me up. So if the Rusty Dragon is the call, we can go to the Rusty Dragon.
All right.
Thank you, Father.
You're welcome. And thank you. I hope that your investigations don't uncover anything further, because that would mean something great and terrible is happening here.
Shalelu.
Oh, that's Shalelu?
Yeah.
Oh, she's so foreign.
Oh yeah, she's the Eye of Gore.
All right. As you guys make your
Or
way
whatever.
to the Rusty Dragon, you are stopped by Sheriff Hemlock.
Who's blue shirt?
Oh, that's the father. that we
Is
saw
Hemlock
earlier.
this redheaded
Okay.
person?
No,
Oh, okay.
that is the mayor.
Oh, that's right.
As you guys are on your way, Sheriff Hemlock, Villic in tow. Greetings. I'm glad I could stop you. Hopefully you had a chance to speak with Father Zantus.
Yes.
Yes, I just grabbed Villic here. I'm on my way to the town hall. Shalelu Andosana has just arrived in town. Normally, she spends a few days resupplying and meeting with her friends, but she has told the mayor that she must meet with her urgently. I'm on my way there now, but I thought I would grab you four and head over there.
I appreciate it.
Hey, what's up, Villic?
Feel like long time no see. I
Hello.
think we should be apart.
Yes.
Hello.
Villic has rejoined the party.
I feel like you slept in.
It was a long night.
Villic, strange. All of your equipment is in disarray and all over the place. All right, you guys make your way to the center of town, where on a low rise is a squat, large, but rather on a plain 2-story building that functions as the town's hall. There's a large council chamber on the first floor, but the sheriff makes his way in up a narrow staircase to a comfortable office on the second floor. Inside, you see Mayor Deverin, along with a elven woman who has all the trappings of someone who's just spent the better part of a month or so in the wild.
She smelled bad.
She is equipped with bows, arrows, a bunch of traveling supplies and
looks like
equipment.
that?
That's her.
I don't really like elves.
She got a real
Maybe.
bad stink about her.
Gore, this seems like more your type.
Oh, what is that smell?
Um,
Why do I talk like this?
the mayor, as you enter with the sheriff nods to Shalelu, who nods back, and the sheriff steps forward. Mayor Deverin, may I present Gore, Azius, Burl, and of course Villic, our newest heroes of Sandpoint. The mayor rises quietly from behind her desk with her hands clasped together. I'm so glad I've had an opportunity to finally meet you. My name is Mayor Deverin, and I am very happy that you are all here. I'm glad, actually, that Baylor has brought you to this meeting because Shalelu has a lot to tell us, and I fear that there's more going on here than could possibly imagine. But again, I do want to thank you fully and from the bottom of my very heart for what you did to our town, what you've done for it so far, and what you may yet have to do. As a token of our town's thanks, I would like to give you this. She reaches into a small leather bag and pulls out a glimmering rune stone. A small, looking like a small river rock, smooth and surface, but engraved with several magical runes. It glows with a pale paint blue light. She slides it out. A potency rune. I have no need for it, and I can't think of anyone better to equip than perhaps you. Maybe it can aid you in your upcoming travels.
What exactly is this?
Okay, so this is a +1 potency runestone. A +1 potency runestone allows you to transform a weapon into a +1 magical weapon.
That's easiest. That sounds like something you might.
I don't know. I don't know. Do you something I think I would need?
Well,
it's a one-time use.
No,
type thing?
it makes your item permanently a +1.
Oh, well, shit,
Does-
then.
That or the
is
fighter
there the
makes the
same
most sense.
mechanic where some creatures are only vulnerable to magical items?
You got it.
Okay.
It also makes your weapon magical.
I might want to take that.
Yeah, I think that
Yeah,
probably
Gore's
would
like,
be
I just want an even +10 to hit.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't already kill
The
skeletons.
nine
with one.
makes the math
so
so hard.
there is something
I gotta
very
do
there is
math.
something very important to distinguish here. We haven't really talked too much about Pathfinder's magical item system, but it's a little different than D&D's. So in Pathfinder, so in Dungeons and Dragons, a weapon can be magical, and the level of intensity of that magic is signified by its plus. So +1, +2, +3 magic item. That +1 or +2 or +3 is added to your attack roll, your D20 roll, to determine if you've hit the creature.
Okay.
And you would also add it to the damage, right?
Okay.
So a +2 weapon, you would add 2 bonus to your D20 roll to attack. And then whatever damage you did when you rolled your damage die and did your damage, added your strength, you would add 2 points of damage on top of it.
Okay.
Pathfinder works a little differently. You have 2 different components. One is called the +1, the +2. That affects the to hit.
Yep.
So +1 to hit, +2 to hit, +3 to hit. Does not affect the damage.
Okay.
The damage is a separate enchantment that can be put onto your weapon.
Okay.
But in Pathfinder, it doesn't give you a +1 to damage or a +2 to damage. It lets you roll whatever die you roll for your dice, you roll an extra die of that. So, for example, if you had a damage enhancement on your greatsword, when you do damage, you wouldn't roll 1d12. You would roll 2d12.
With the +1?
Now, no, that's with the enhancement.
Oh.
Now, for this is just for the attack.
This
roll.
is just for the attack roll.
And
Just
I'm
for the
just,
attack roll,
I'm just saying. I mean, as much as I think Gore is our hero here, the +9 seems like
It's probably good enough. I mean, I think if anyone needed help,
to be an
hidden-
alchemist.
I mean, this is obviously a party decision.
yes. Right now, why don't you hold on to?
Well,
the
I mean, I'll say
road?
this. It doesn't do anything by itself, right?
Yes.
What you have to do is, I think it takes 10 minutes. You just take the rune stone, you place it on the sword, you kind of activate it, and then the rune stone becomes unmagical, and it transfers the magical runes into your weapon,
Mhm.
which then becomes magical.
You go ahead and take it.
We're just gonna hold on to this stone for now.
I mean,
put it in our
I
pockets.
think it makes sense for Azius to
I just think
put it on his
I don't know if I can
Warhammer.
hit many things in the future.
Well,
Every
again,
+1 I
I mean,
can.
again, we're gonna have to
Can
try
you
to.
stack that?
Hmm.
If he found 3 rune stones, would he have a +3?
No,
He'd always have a +1.
yeah, it's always whichever one's the highest.
Okay.
Yeah,
Mm.
exactly. So
Can I get magical hands?
You can.
Oh, that's crazy.
They're not magical hands per se. They're basically
Bracers
like
or something?
hand wraps.
Ah, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
That'd be
like
cool, too.
like it's not actually imbued into you, but you can basically wear like
gloves or
gloves
something like that.
or some sort of like hand wraps that allow you
Okay.
to do the same. So yes, they could also go to Villic.
Well,
What's-
they
what's
shouldn't.
your
I
plus-
don't want
What's
it.
your plus to hit?
Oh, that is a
Really?
very good point. There's,
Yeah, I've -1 to hit. So
I'm gonna guess that Villic's to hit is +7.
I don't even know. Look at this sheet. I don't even know what I'm looking.
You bring it up.
I have it up. I don't.
Oh. So underneath your
it's-
melee strikes, what is it? In the big axe. Yeah. What is in there?
It should
plus
be
6.
strength plus proficiency or dex plus proficiency.
They're all 6s in the axe.
6.
maybe it's just got a
What's his
+5
dexterity?
or +3.
18.
4.
Yeah, 18 or +4.
Yeah.
Oh,
she's-
modifier 4. My actual dexterity is 18.
yeah.
But,
Hit.
but all his hits are based off of strength.
That is not correct.
Oh, that's what it says in melee strikes.
Well,
It
for
does,
you,
but unarmed strikes have the finesse quality.
So
That's
they
a
use dex. Okay, so all your Danny, if you want to write that note down, Villic, all your things should be 7.
They don't have to be dex, but they can be dex. And
Oh.
because his dexterity is higher than his strength,
Then use your dex.
then you should dex.
So I will take the runestone for now, guys. Let's just put it in my pocket. We don't need to use it at this moment.
okay.
You do need to spend 10 minutes rubbing that into your stomach.
Right. So it's not
when
something.
I take a piss.
It's not something. So okay. Well, yeah. So we'll say that you guys didn't actually sit here and have this huge debate while this meeting was about to happen.
Yeah, I just put it in my pocket. We
That was
talk-
metagame.
Yeah, metagame.
After,
We just take the room and put it in
right.
the pocket.
So after the mayor does this, the sheriff says, and I should also introduce you to Shalelu Andasana. He kind of looks at her
Fucking
and
hells.
winks. He goes, our unofficial member of the Sandpoint Town Guard, and gives her kind of a wink. And he turns, he goes, Shalelu, this is our newest crop of goblin slayers.
I've met women with more hair than you.
Hemlock goes on to explain that Shalelu has been a thorn in the side of the local goblin tribes for about 5 years
Excellent.
now, and that few in the region know more than she does.
I commend you for your work.
He goes on to recap her report, which she apparently had just given to the mayor and him, that Sandpoint isn't the only place to have been experiencing goblin troubles. In short, there's been a huge increase in goblin activity all along the Lost Coast, particularly in the dale between Nettlewood and the Mosswood. Only a day ago, a farm just south of the Mosswood was burnt to the ground by a group of goblins. Shalelu was nearby and was able to drive off the goblins, but the farm could not be saved, although the people are staying at a nearby farm. At this point, Hemlock says, but I've said enough. Shalelu, please, tell the heroes what you told me. Well, first let me say that Balos told me about the work you've done against the goblins. Well done.
Oh, thank you.
Present company excluded, of course, but I've dedicated the last several years of my life from keeping these goblin creatures from causing too much trouble. But they are tenacious. They are like weeds that bite. There are 5 major goblin tribes in the region, and traditionally they've been quite good at keeping each other busy with internal squabbles and the like. But from what I've been able to piece together, members of all 5 tribes were involved in the raid on Sandpoint.
A coordinated attack.
Indeed, and a fair number of the Mosswood goblins who I drove off yesterday in the attack on the farm were already pretty beat up. There was a lot of chatter amongst them about the Longshanks, which apparently killed so many of them on their attack. At the time, it didn't make sense, but now that I've met you, I can see who they were talking about. Indeed, there was discussion about some strange new dog creature, some terrifying beast that none had seen before.
Ah, that must be lucky.
In any event, the fact that 5 tribes are working together disturbs me. Goblin tribes don't work together unless they've got something big planned, and big plans require even bigger bosses.
Yeah, that's,
I'm afraid that someone or something has moved in on the goblins and organized things. And judging from these recent raids, they are only going to grow more bold, and that seems like bad news for all of us.
but what? Who or what could have drove these 5 goblin tribes together?
Yeah, it seems like a tall task.
Well, my
Taller
initial
than
thought,
us.
my initial thought was
Short
that maybe some other sort of creature, perhaps Bruthaximus or one of the other larger bugbears or ogres.
Oh,
But
Saximus.
you've
relax,
met.
relax.
We've heard rumors.
Well, I've tangled with him more than once or twice over the last few years. It's sort of an on-run-and-go battle. I'll be honest with you, he's gotten me a few times, but I'll tell you this, I won't be the first one to fall in our feud. Still, I had suspected a bugbear or ogre, or perhaps even a giant. But the sheriff and the mayor tell me that of the goblins, that few goblins that were captured during the Sandpoint raid, they said that they were working under the orders of a human or
Doesn't
humanoid.
make sense.
That's even more disturbing.
Well, we
Maximus
did see
is a
the-
goblin.
We did see the humanoid boot prints at the
Oh, we saw
sarcophagus.
boots.
And goblins.
We don't know who was in those boots.
Humanoid. We
The
knew it was
boots
of
are human.
some medium character, as
Shalelu,
well as goblins.
would you be able to lead us to the Mosswood leader goblin?
That's a tall order.
Is that a wise move?
Well,
What
I
do you
can-
tell us, Shalelu, about the goblins of the Mosswood?
Well, as I said, there's several tribes. The Mosswoods are but one of them.
Several or 5?
There's 5.
There's several, exactly 5.
Okay, we got it. I had to look it up. Well, the moss.
Mosswood, Nettlewood.
Yeah, exactly. There's the nettlewood, the mosswood, the brine stumps, the thistle tops. The leader of the mosswood goblins is a unusually muscular and tall goblin by the name of Big Gugmut.
Oh, gross.
Yes, Gugmut is said to have had a hobgoblin for a father and a boar for a mother.
Ugh.
I mean, of course, it's not true.
You
But
never know.
I've never tangled with him. I've tangled with his
Stranger
folks. I've tangled with his folks, though. The Mosswood goblins, for the most part, are fairly normal and active, but I've never come across Big Gugmut.
I think they're the tribe that destroyed my village.
Ah, all right. Well, in that case, you have more than any. I was aware of that destruction of that tribe. I didn't realize that that was part of your group.
That's why we've been following them. And
She turns into Elven language and says to you, "I'm sorry for your loss. Your people were beautiful and kind."
I appreciate that.
What is this gibberish?
Elven, my good no.
Oh.
Elven.
Couldn't it be gnomish or sylvan or goblin?
The sheriff stands up. I was meeting.
See ya.
See you, Bob.
Mic drop.
Can you give me a cherry Coke Zero?
No, Cherry Coke Zero.
Yeah. Yes. Cuban B.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
The sheriff stands up. Well, that settles it. I was having a discussion with the mayor about what I was talking to you about earlier. I'm going to take every time.
I make lots of grunts while he talks.
Yeah.
No, it's just
From Back to the
every
Future.
time I say mayor, he goes,
I can't help it. It's just so much fun.
This is the cast of characters we have brought to the table.
Exactly.
This
Sheriff-
dice count.
Sheriff Hemlock announces that he, as I was saying earlier, I'm going to take several guardsmen and we are going to make the journey to Magnamar. I'm going to see about securing additional, not guards, but soldiers to station at Sandpoint for the next few weeks. If the goblins are planning some sort of big raid, I will not allow Sandpoint to become another victim of their attacks.
Surely. What can we do to help?
Another victim.
Well, that's a great question.
Thank
I would ask, Shalelu, I would ask you if you could sniff around Shankswood, the Brine Stump, the Mosswood, any of the other places the goblins are, to see if you can figure out what else is going on. And you, gentlemen, if you could help her, great. Otherwise, I would ask you to stick around town. I'm going to take some
Just
of the
in
guardsmen
case.
with me. It'd be nice to know that I'm leaving the town with such capable adventurers as yourselves, who've proven yourself already in battle. The locals seem to have taken quite a liking to you, and seeing you around town, I think, will do a lot for their nerves over the next few days.
I guess I would pose it to Shalelu and say, would you prefer that we come with you or that we stay here and defend the town just in case anything happens? We can hang out at the Rusty Dragon and get like
Well,
Rusty Dragon?
well, I think Asius has the right of it. I usually, rather than jump straight to these meetings, I usually find myself with a hot meal of Amiku's curry.
Oh, so good.
So if it's all right with you, let's head over to the Rusty Dragon. I would like to see my friend, and I would like to just.
For that winter ale.
I would like to discuss how we might best split our resources.
Shalelu, great idea.
All
I'm
right.
in. Let's go.
You're fine for a beardless woman.
As you make your way over to the Rusty Dragon and you enter into the common room, it's unusually quiet, and then you notice why it seems so out of sorts. The bubbling aroma of warm stews and soups, cooking meats over open fires, are always omnipresent in the Rusty Dragon and seem to be missing.
Uh-huh.
As you
This was a little off in here.
Yeah.
As you enter into the inn, a timid, elderly halfling woman.
Who is this?
You don't know her name, but you've seen her around the inn a bunch. She's a maid
Oh, okay.
who works for Amico.
Calm down there.
All right, all right.
Calm down.
She looks very upset. She's wringing her hands. She's looking, left and right. And as you enter, her eyes spot onto you, and she goes,
What's the matter?
It's Amico. Here, come with me. We'll speak in private.
Okay.
Quickly.
I woke up this morning. She's always up before even me. And for the first time in as long as I can remember, the morning stew wasn't going. I was worried about her, so I went to her door. It was closed. I knocked, but no answer. After about an hour, I grew worried, and I know I shouldn't have, but, well, I picked the lock. She's like, I wasn't always a maid.
Yeah.
I wasn't with her last night, was I? I was with somebody last night.
Picks locks.
Her father?
So
There was a beard.
I emptied, and I discovered the room empty.
Oh,
bed.
shit.
The bed made, unslept in.
It's very strange.
And I found a crumpled up note by the bedstand. It looks like it had been thrown aside in anger.
What did it say?
She reaches in and pulls out a crumpled piece of parchment and hands it to you. The note, hastily and scribbly written, is written in a bunch of very strange characters.
Is it TN?
It's
Damn it. One of the
It's-
languages I
it's
don't speak.
Is it Gnomish, Sylvan, or Goblin?
Yeah.
I don't know what this is.
Is it
This is rubbish.
Shalelu. Shalelu, you know these
She's in with us,
characters.
isn't she?
I do not.
Oh, she came with us to the. Oh, she came with us. Okay.
How you were best friends.
Yeah, I mean, if you're best friends with a Chinese person, do you speak Chinese?
I do.
I probably
two or
just,
three
just the swear
words.
words. Just
What?
any
So,
of these curse words in here.
what do you think happened?
Well, Amiko's been teaching me Menkayan for the past several years, so I started to translate it. I'll give it a go.
Okay.
Take your time.
Do your best.
Hello, sis.
Oh, sis.
Come forth, woman.
And then if you can imagine, like, it kind of fades to like
Dun, 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 dun,
like him writing the letter. I hope this letter finds you well and with some time on your hands, because we have somewhat of a problem. It has to do with father.
I knew it.
It seems that he may have had something to do with Sandpoint's recent goblin trouble. And I did not want to bring the matter to the authorities because we both know he would simply weasel his way out of it. You've got some pull here in town, though. If you can meet me tonight at the Glassworks at midnight, maybe we can figure out how to make sure he faces the punishment he rightly deserves. Knock twice at the back door, then 3 times more at the delivery entrance, and I'll let you in. In any case, I don't have to impress upon you the delicate nature of this request. If news got out, you know that these local townsfolk fools would assume that you and I were in on the whole thing, don't you? They have no honor at all around these parts. A bunch of simpleton farmers. I still don't know how you can stand to stay here. Anyways, don't tell anyone about this. There are other complications as well, ones that I'd rather talk to you in person about tonight. Don't be late. Signed, Suto.
The other complications probably leading to
Plot
Amigos.
twist. What?
All
First
right.
of all, whoa, sister.
Right.
And second of all, Chile, are you okay with this scenario here? Because she's sort of law.
Who?
Shalala.
Oh,
Shalelu is
no,
with
she's
us,
a local ranger.
But
She's
is she law like? This she's
She's
talking
Katic.
about.
She's Katic.
She's what?
Katic good.
Got it. Good.
So she's down to clown. She's ready to fight the good fight.
She wants to. She understands.
Well, that's why I
the
remember the
letter.
sheriff was
Yeah.
like our unofficial member. Like she's not a member of the. Like she just
Okay.
like lives in the
'Cause
area.
They were talking in that letter, like, don't tell anybody. I'm like,
Yeah.
shit, she's like part of the fucking council. Like, she's part of the government.
No, I think she's fine. I think we.
Okay.
This already happened. This transpired last night, or will transpire this evening.
No, well, that's what she's saying. She wasn't here this morning,
Yeah.
so
So
he must have
transpired last night.
sent the letter last night. She went instead of staying in her room. She went.
Oh, shit. So we're like a day behind. We're
Yeah,
like
so,
half
I
a
mean-
day
Well,
behind.
it's the next morning.
Yeah,
I
we're
mean,
like.
we could show up and do the old 2-knock, 3-knock deal and see if we can get entry, or maybe it's too late.
Shalelu's like, this is very grave news indeed. I must run quickly. If I hurry in time, I can catch the sheriff. You, 4, investigate the Glassworks.
Absolutely,
Like,
that sounds like the
cleric
right
and
call.
shit.
Yeah, whatever you guys need.
All right.
I have an idea.
Do you have any ins or outs of the Glassworks?
I don't spend much time in town.
Gotcha.
Now, this is almost outside of town, isn't
It's
it?
right on the edges of town.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to remember the map. in
Yep.
my
Yep.
head.
Yep.
Actually, I wonder if the map was in the book. Never mind.
Map was in the book.
I was gonna say because it would be nice for the people at home to be able to see the viewing.
Well, when I eventually edit
you could.
it,
Oh, that's great. That's right.
I'm
You
going
could-
to
superimpose,
I'm going to
yeah.
superimpose things.
when he says edit, you actually might be seeing this right now. And we don't know that.
That's right.
And we're all noob Pathfinders, so noob finders here. So
What page are the maps on?
That's a good question.
What page are the maps on?
this is a particular book.
Oh,
Yeah,
for
it's
the
a-
Oh,
it's
for
a
the
story.
adventure.
Yeah, this
Yeah,
is
story.
of Sandpoint. Yeah.
Gotcha, gotcha.
Either way, it's not source on. I say we grab some of the. What we don't know the maid's name.
Bethana.
Can we just get some of that? Like, can you whip us up some curry for the road? I just want to make sure I
And ale.
have a little bit of. Yeah, I just want to. I can't drink all day if I don't have any food in my belly. I mean, right, guys? Hey!
like she looks at you with her eyes like wide open, like Amiko's in trouble.
All right.
No, I
all
just
right.
need fuel to rescue her.
We'll raid the kitchen.
I'll be fasted. It'll be a little bit crazy later, guys. Dun, 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 is a big thing in that movie.
Dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. The world's gonna end.
So if you take a look here at this map
This is
of
the glass factory, right?
no, that's actually the Deveron's manor, the mayor's manor.
Fancy.
So number 37 right here, right in the middle of town. That's the Rusty Dragon,
My favorite place.
and then the cathedral's up here,
Mm-hmm. So we're earlier today.
and then over here is the Old Light, which is like the why Sandpoint's called the Light of the Lost Coast. It's like the big, huge, ancient stone like lighthouse.
Lighthouse, yeah.
But then this big kind of factory right here down by the beach,
20.
20. That's
Okay.
the glass factory.
See that, Danny?
So it's just
Yeah, I see it.
it's just right across town.
Yeah, quick
right,
stroll.
yeah.
Quick stroll.
Okay.
Drunken crawl. What?
All right.
Dun dun dun.